Welcome. Today we have Keirsey on the guest. Say hello, Keirsey,
Hello, everybody.
to all of our listeners, the few of you that are out there. I actually have to send this text that we are live. Maybe people will tune in.
Who
Hang
knows?
on. Maybe Tim. All right, so let's get started right away, just in case, like I was just telling you, Will wakes up again. Hopefully not. So
hmm
let's get started. Kersey, what is this? Your third year in the league, I believe. Fourth,
I think
third.
I am going into my fourth,
Into your
just
so yeah,
finishing my third
so yeah,
year.
very nice. Well,
Yeah,
we're not going to go through all the trades you made, but you did make a lot of
yeah,
trades to get here,
yeah.
to make your because the team narrative wasn't great, and you made a lot of moves to get to the point where you were in the final last year,
hmm
and just missed out on playoffs. We'll talk about that. So first things first. First action you had this year was one trade that happened on draft day, or I think day two of the draft, which
hmm
was with me. I'm pretty sure I offered this, which makes sense. I
hmm
offered you Christian Kirk for a 2025 second. That 2025 second, if you can see, became. Oh no, sorry, other way around. Uh, oh no, that was it, right?
Yeah,
No,
that's right. Yeah.
yes. Okay. So I ended up getting Tootin from that. You got Kirk for that. So I ended up getting Tootin from you,
hmm
and he's been okay. But you got Kirk. Any thoughts on Christian Kirk? I have mine later, but if you want to give your thoughts on him, his year this year.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty mid year, to be
Agreed.
honest. He had a couple of like two okay games. I honestly don't think I really started him unless like somebody was injured and
Mm-hmm.
I just, had to put someone there. Um but so that one didn't really at least this past year pan out very well for me, but it's okay. How was Tootin? He was okay?
He was okay. He was a rookie behind ETN, so
Oh yeah.
he was fine. I don't expect much, but he uh, he did okay for a rookie. He didn't get that many looks. There are two competing teams I've been kind of looking out on online and stuff for him, and there are half people that are like, "Oh, he's gonna have a breakout next year," and everyone else is like, "He wasn't good this year, so why is he gonna be good next year?" So I'm in the camp that he's gonna
Yeah.
be good. That's just he's mine, so I got to say that.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
All right, so that was your only trade. The rest of your draft, I really liked. I mean, R.J. Harvey, you had at
RJ
the end
Harvey.
of the first, which I mean, really your choice there was Harvey or Agbuka. Caleb
hmm
Johnson maybe, but I mean, you dodged a bullet there, at least as of right
Yeah.
now. But R.J. Harvey,
No,
give me your overall thoughts on his rookie year. I know he's a little older at 25 as a rookie, but what are your
I thought he
how do you
did
feel about
great.
him? Agreed.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good rookie year. And I really I went with RJ because I needed a running back pretty badly on my
Mm,
team. I have some old guys for running backs right now. And so yeah, I thought he did great, and I kind of believe in Sean Payton and his like commitment to the running game and all that. So I have high hopes for him. He's a little bit older, but I think that just kind of like I don't know, gave him the experience that he needed to do good in this first year. So,
Yeah, he had a slower start, but that's obviously to be expected for rookies. And he finished you really
yeah.
well, and then he did okay in the playoffs as well. And that offense took a
Yeah.
hit when Knicks went down, but I
Yeah.
agree. I think he had a really good year. A lot
Yeah, a little
of
volatile, like up and down a little bit, but I mean,
mm,
he had some really like 19-point games, 20-point games, like high point games. I thought it was good, having him in the flex, like the
for
flex
sure.
position, and maybe he could have a breakout game that game or
Yeah,
something.
I think another good thing going for him is that J.K. Dobbins is probably not coming back, if I had to guess.
hmm
And he
Yeah.
can't stay healthy as it is, but he's probably not coming
Yeah.
back. And then McLaughlin is really nobody. So I think he's got the backfield, and I think, like you said, I think they're definitely gonna keep running the ball a lot. So I think this is a good pick. Again, if you were looking at running backs, then it was Harvey, Johnson, or Scattaboo.
Scatterbo.
I think maybe I still like Harvey here, Harvey there for sure, but Scattaboo's pretty good, and Caleb Johnson's been bad. So I'll take
Yeah.
that. Another pick I really
Yeah.
liked is Mason Taylor.
hmm
Very young. The only downside I have for him, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, is that it's just he's on the Jets. But who knows? They
Who knows?
could get a quarterback. Um, if they do, then he's the second target there. They don't really have another receiver. I talked with Seattle about A.D. Mitchell, but he was really good as a I almost said freshman as a rookie.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great pick. What about you? Are
Yeah.
you happy with this one?
No, yeah, I am happy with that one. I kind of am a tight end heavy team right now.
Yes, you are.
I don't know how I turned into the tight end specialist, but here we are. No, but I thought he was a solid pick. Again, I'll echo what you said. He's on the Jets, so I kind of have to manage expectations with that, but I thought
Definitely.
he was solid.
I think he was good. I know he got hurt at the end of the year, but
Hmm.
it was a tough year to be a Jet, and especially in fantasy. But
Yeah.
like you said, and we'll talk about that too. You're very deep at tight end, so.
Yeah.
And then your last two picks are, I mean, these are at this point definitely just dart throws. If you can get anything out of them, that's fine. Jalen Milrow, I mean, who knows? He's a
Yeah.
player with upside. He might get some looks at some point. Not someone to drop yet, but I mean, at 311 and 312, you're not getting anybody that's going to start for you, so that's fine. And
Yeah.
then Martinez, he's a Packer. I can't say anything good about a Packer, but we'll see what happens with him. It's not a very good backfield outside of Jacobs, so maybe there's room for improvement there, room for growth. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be a huge hit if he could do anything for you. But again,
Yeah.
those two are dart throws. So I don't know. Those are hard to.
Yeah. No, I can't say anything really about Martinez. I think my thinking with Jalen Milrow was maybe like the only person ahead of him right now is Sam Darnold, and like I don't know how long. I mean, he obviously just won the Super Bowl, but I
Mhm.
don't know how long he has. He's older. Like maybe if Jalen is good, he could be like the next guy up. But yeah, again, I just don't know like
And
what to expect from him.
yeah, especially at the time. I mean, we knew
Yeah.
Sam Darnold had a good year in Minnesota, but that was his only good year in the NFL. So who knew what he was going to be like in in Seattle? So again,
Mhm.
no fault for those picks. They're dart throws. And Miller, I mean, he's dual threat. That's kind of the mold that quarterbacks are in these days. So could be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, moving on to your current team. I don't know if you've seen any of this, but this is kind of
Oh wow.
how I it's my thought process. I like spreadsheets, so I have
Hmm.
4 or 5 different tiers, and each tier can have any of these 4 colors in here. As starter, backup, in a pinch is like if you need to put somebody in, they can probably do something for you, and then the red is do not start. So red
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean like you should cut them. There are some guys down here we'll talk about that maybe should be cut, but that's only because you have a lot of picks. And some of these
Yeah.
guys are old. But we'll talk about that later. But we'll start with
Yeah.
quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts. I have here he's a very good fantasy quarterback as long as they can keep that tush push going
Yeah.
because his throwing numbers aren't always the best. I mean, never eclipsed 4,000 yards. Got close a couple times, but he's just so efficient in the running game. Not only in tush push, he just gets yards. He's always on the move. So very good
Yeah.
quarterback
Yeah.
one. Very solid quarterback. Um, thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Well, I think like you said, I think he's a dual threat. I think he's a good runner, but then also he with the tush push, I mean, I feel like he gets a lot of goal line touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
if it's not going to Saquon. My issue with Jalen and Saquon this year, and we'll probably get to it, but I mean, as much as I love the Eagles sucking on offense as a Cowboys
Yeah.
fan, they were just so like not impressive this year, and I think that's like what really hurt me is my team is kind of based off of the two of them
Yeah.
doing good together.
Yes.
So I'm still riding with Jalen. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think people probably don't like consider him as much as they probably should. For some reason, the offense this year, in my opinion, for the Eagles just was not clicking, and I'm really not sure why.
Agreed.
Um, yeah, Saquon, I still love Saquon. I'm getting a little antsy, like he's getting a little bit old.
He's getting up
um,
there.
yeah, so I still think he's really good. It's just I'm getting like thinking about the future a little antsy with him and like has his like trade value window closed or is it still open? Like it's hard to tell just because of the down year that he had
Yeah.
relatively to like compared to the year before.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still a Saquon believer, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that honestly he left the Giants and is now doing good. So
I
I love that
agree.
for him.
I still believe in Saquon. Obviously, last year, I mean, it was an anomaly. It was an insane year, very good
Yeah,
year, obviously, but it's the outlier.
yeah,
But that's not to say he can't do it again. Like it's attainable. And even last year, it was a down year in terms of what he did last year, but it's pretty much that's still a very good season. 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns,
yeah.
almost 40 receptions. Still a very solid year for Saquon. If they can figure out what they were doing wrong with the offense, I know their offensive line coach left, so
Mhm.
maybe I think there's going to be some change on the offensive line with the players themselves. So maybe that could be good. But I don't know. In terms of trade, I mean, he's still a top, I mean, 5 running back in the league, in my opinion, just off the top of
Mhm.
my head. Uh, I don't know. I'm this isn't just this podcast isn't like advice stuff. It's just like this is my
Mhm.
thoughts on teams. I wouldn't trade him yet, but
Yeah.
that's running the risk of like then his trade value is gone. But that's just because I don't know that you're going to get a player unless you trade to like the first pick this year and get Jeremiah Love. But that I don't think Taylor's going to do that. So
No.
so
Yeah.
I would if
And
I
if
was the
you
guy, I'd keep Saquon or trade him to me. And that's what I would
And if you looked at like his year to year stats, he didn't have like super amazing years every year back to back.
do.
Like the past 4 years, he's been, solid, but there was like really good in 2022 and then, kind of like 2023, a little bit of down year and then really, really good in 2024. So like maybe he's just kind of
Would be the bounce
up
back.
and down a little bit. Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping.
I could definitely see that for Saquon for
Yeah.
sure. All right, moving
Yeah.
back over to quarterbacks. We already talked about Milrow. We'll talk about Geno Smith first because I want to hear your thoughts on Michael Penix. Geno Smith, I have him in who knows. I don't think he's going to get traded. He's on a contract, but they're going to pick Mendoza.
Hmm.
I don't think he's someone you cut. You might have to if you elevate Milrow from the taxi squad. Um, but I don't. I don't know if I see it for Geno Smith anymore. He had a good run. He looked good last year, and this year he was terrible. So his
Yeah.
time in the sun might be over. Who knows? Um, I don't know you cut him yet, but he's borderline cut candidate. Like if you need someone else in the roster, he's one that can go. My opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very unsure about my backup quarterback situation at the moment because I am not a big believer in Michael Penix right now and
Interesting.
Jalen Milrow. I have no clue what to expect from him. And I am also a big Geno Smith defender, just personally. But
Fair.
like he was also not very good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not, and again, I think it kind of ties into like the Jets and the Falcons. I'm a big non-believer in the Falcons, and that could also be just some bias because of how they quote unquote use Kyle Pitts and that disaster.
Fair.
But I don't know. There's just something about the Falcons that I'm like, I don't trust their offense at all. Um, so yeah, I'm unsure. And then he doesn't seem like he's the healthiest and
Yeah,
is kind of injury
definitely is not.
prone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. My backup quarterback situation is not very good for me right now, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I Penix has a lot of talent, but you said it there at the end. He's just always hurt. I mean, he was hurt last
Yeah,
year, or no, I think he did get hurt last year. I don't know if it was a
I think
knee, but
so.
but he had the torn ACL this year, and he had a couple torn ACLs in college. Like quarterback is if he's a running back, that's the end of his career. Receiver, but quarterback, you don't have to be mobile to succeed, but it definitely helps, especially a guy like Penix who is sort of mobile. It doesn't rely on his legs, but certainly helps him. I like him. I think he
Yeah,
can be good, but he just has to stay healthy. He has to, and this is
yeah,
it. I think this is it for him. If he, well, I say that, but also he was just picked in the first round. I mean, he's 25, and next year if he gets
I
hurt
know.
again, he's 26. Then who knows? Like
Yeah.
then he's down here,
Yeah.
and who knows? And then
Yeah.
it's a problem. So Hurts is
Yeah.
a very good starter. I have that right here. Good starter. Might need some depth. If Penix comes
Yeah.
off the injury and is fine, then you have a good 1-2 punch. Then you don't need to worry about it. But that's the thing. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Agreed.
moving on to Kenneth Walker in the running backs. Obviously, Super Bowl MVP, amazing Super Bowl or amazing playoff run. He was awesome.
Mhm.
Um, but a little inconsistent. I know he's also dealt with injuries in his career, but he's a guy I like a lot, and I'm really intrigued to see what he does in the offseason. I have him as a starter because I think if he's in Seattle or elsewhere, he's going to get the ball most of the time. He's going to be the starting running back wherever he goes. So hopefully Charbonnet leaves or they trade him. I don't know that they will because he does take a lot of those goal line touches, but I like Kenneth Walker. I think you have a very good 1-2 punch there at running
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, no, I also likewise I love Kenneth Walker. I'm so happy that he got to shine in the Super Bowl. I think it's because Charbonnet was not playing. I think Charbonnet is very good. I'm just looking on Sleeper and it seems like that the Seahawks are not extending the franchise tag to Walker, so he'll be a free agent. So that could be potentially good for him. I kind of like him on the Seahawks. And I think too, part of my initial like thinking was uncertainty at the quarterback situation. Maybe they'll be run heavy, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously Sam Darnold, like he did, pretty good. But I do think him competing with Charbonnet affected his like consistency throughout the season. Like he had some games where I feel like he had a lot more touches than other games.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Kenneth Walker a lot, and I'm very happy to get him to have him.
Yeah, for sure. Charbonnet he was just their go-to guy on the goal line, which he's a bigger back.
Yeah,
He's that's kind of what he is. So
yeah,
um, I get it, but also I would like to see him as a bell cow. We just don't see that many bell cows these days. So the guys who just get all the touches. So, but again, I think that's very very good 1-2 punch. And then Harvey to either back them up or play flex, whatever it is. That's a good solid rotation of three there. Then it gets a little
mhm,
dicey. We'll talk
mhm,
about Kareem Hunt first. Kareem Hunt
yeah,
had a good year and has had a couple of good years for what he is at this stage in his career.
yeah,
Right now, he's just a touchdown machine. 15, 24 touchdowns in the last 3 years for a guy who's 28, 29, and 30 is crazy. That's
mhm,
a lot of touchdowns. I'm comfortable with him as a backup running back. I just have him in who knows tier because who knows where he's going to go. The Chiefs are probably going to address running back in the offseason. I don't know that they're going to bring Kareem Hunt back. I don't know that there's another role for him elsewhere, is my only thing. If he does go back to the
yeah,
Chiefs, totally fine with him as a backup because the Chiefs seem to love him. I mean, he's got almost 400 touches for them in 2 years as a 29 and 30-year-old, which is crazy. And he's not even
yeah,
averaging that many yards per carry, but they just keep giving him the ball because they have nobody else. If they don't address running back and they re-sign him, I think you're fine for this year at running back. But yeah, I don't know about in the future going forward with him, but
oh my God, I know.
it's
Yeah,
just crazy. He's still getting touches at this stage in his career, honestly.
yeah, no, and he is pretty, like you said, reliable if I need somebody on my flex or even if someone has a bye to put him in, and I was pretty much like half the time he's going to get at least a touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. I think he definitely benefited from, wasn't Isaiah Pacheco, who was out for most of the
He was
season
hurt and he's
or a
been
couple of
bad.
games.
He's been
Yeah.
bad too, but he's
Yeah.
dealt with it the last couple of years
Yeah. So I think that definitely helped not having like a better running back.
for sure.
He is 30.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of also ties in nicely, I think, with Mostert. I see Mostert and Kareem as kind of the same, except Mostert did not have as good of a production this year as Kareem Hunt did. But 2024, or was it 2023? Shout out to Raheem Mostert in 2023, who was
Yeah,
like my best running
he
back
was crazy
on
that
my
year.
team at age 30. So that was pretty incredible. Um,
18
I
touchdowns. as a
Yeah,
30-year-old. Is 30. I think he was
yeah,
31. It was just insane.
it was crazy. Um, so yeah, it's tough. So I feel like my team struggles for backup running backs.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, and so I've kind of just kept them because I know, like, they could maybe have a touchdown this
Yeah,
game. And then my other options being Tyjae Spears, which I really hope he turns out to be good because I like him a lot. Um, and Ty Johnson, I think I picked him up. I honestly don't remember why. I thought like maybe back up to James Cook. If James Cook gets hurt, like I have him.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I have a lot of older running backs right now that are kind of, not the top backs at the team that they're on. So it's kind of tough with backup running
yeah.
backs right now.
Yeah, I've got a Ty Johnson. He's old for running backs. He's never really been anything. He's a guy that's probably I don't see him having a Raheem Mostert type year where he's turns 30 and then scores 18 touchdowns. Maybe, but I don't see it. I think
Yeah,
Mostert's also. I think he's over the hill at this point. That year was
yeah,
amazing. That year was fun. It was really fun to watch. But now he's in Vegas. I think he's probably a free agent. I would be shocked if they gave him anything more than a 1 year deal.
yeah.
Um, so he'll be 30, 34. He's another one where it's like maybe with some of these picks you have, it's time to go for some depth. And then to Jay Spears, I don't know. I think this is it. This is it for him. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know that they bring or I think Pollard is on the block. They're trying to get rid of
Mhm.
Pollard. I think what I've been reading, but I don't know if he's the guy that's going to do it for them. Um, but this is the last year of his rookie deal. This is the time for him to prove that he deserves a spot on the team.
Mhm.
So I'm hopeful too. I like him, but I don't know. We'll see if Pollard sticks around. Then he's another one where I think you still wait and see because he'll be a free agent. Maybe he goes somewhere that needs a running back. Maybe he has like a Jalen Warren type year where he gets in a better situation, or not Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell situation where he goes to a different team and gets a better situation and produces. So maybe that's his future. So I have him as development. He's not he's 24, so he's still young, but he's not a rookie anymore. So I don't mind Tajay Spears, and again I really like your top three backs here. But I think one of these picks, which we'll talk about later, I don't want you obviously not giving away any strategy, but I think it's
Mhm.
pretty clear maybe another running back could be needed in that room for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And one thing on Spears, I wonder how much of his not great year has to do with the Titans sucking.
They were very bad.
Because they were very bad. Because Pollard, and I would love Pollard. Pollard is solid, but if you look at like his games, I mean, he had obviously some 28 points, 17 points, but like for a starter, it's kind of like, it's not like crazy impressive, and so I do wonder like if the Titans, with like some miracle, if they're good next year, if Spears can get a little better, but I don't know.
I think they'll
I
be.
still have some hope.
Yeah, which is, I mean, he's still young. He's
Yeah.
still, like I said, 24. And Pollard, he hit 1,000 yards, but I mean, prior to week 13, he hadn't hit 100 yards in a game. He only had two
Yeah.
touchdowns, and after that, he kind of broke out a little bit. Had four good games in a row, and that
Yeah.
he finished strong. Um,
Yeah.
I think they'll be better, but I don't know. I don't know if they don't try to get rid of him and get a pick back or something. And they might draft a running back or do something like that. So who knows?
Yeah.
It's still a little too early for Spears.
Hmm. I think that's fair.
All right, moving on to receivers. Let's start at the bottom here because there's a bunch of nothing down here.
A bunch of
Um,
random people.
they're just a lot of these guys are older. Never really been the guy. Obviously, aside from DeAndre Hopkins, who I, I want to believe like I want there to be like a oh, DeAndre Hopkins is good again. Look at this great year he's having. I just
Hmm.
don't know if he has it in him. And the rest of these
Hmm.
guys are just,
Yeah.
they're just not great.
No.
And
And
they
and to
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, I think at one point I had both Jordan Addison and Jaden Reed injured.
Yeah.
And so I was sort of like, oh, definitely like week to week, who is like getting 6 points this week, do I think? And so then I would pick up like you know,
Scantling
who would
or
have, yeah,
Hodgins or
like
Samuel.
Isaiah
Yeah.
Hodgins. Yeah, yeah, just like the random one that I'm like, oh, they're playing a bad team. Maybe they can get 6 points and
Yep.
I have to fill the gaps somehow. So those, a
Exactly.
lot of those I think were like last minute, just like
Yeah.
I need someone to fill the spot
They're
type
just,
of.
yeah, they're warm bodies, and they will
Yeah.
probably be gone for these rookies, which some of these, and then UDFA's or young guys on the waiver wire. You know, in July, if you see someone that has a good camp, then you dump Josh Reynolds and pick one of them up. So like
Hmm. Hmm.
a lot of guys that you're not really probably wanting to start, and most of the time don't start. But all right, you
Yeah.
get the trash out of the way. Go up to Lad McConkey, who
Hmm.
I really like. Yeah, I know he had a down year. I'm still big on him. There's a lot of change going on in that offense. New offensive coordinator. I know they are going to get their offensive line healthy. They had a couple injuries last year.
Hmm.
Um, but even in a down year, he's okay. He was still technically a wide receiver, what, three, which isn't great
Hmm.
for what he is, but I still believe, and I'm assuming you do too. But what are your thoughts on his 2025?
Yeah. No, I like Lad McConkey a lot. I still believe in him. I think the Chargers are one of those teams where like they're a little unpredictable, which is crazy because you would think with Justin Herbert, like it's a shoe-in, like you're gonna have a crazy offense, but I feel like the Chargers were a little bit meh,
Mm-hmm.
just generally. And so I think that may have contributed to his down year. Was this Harbaugh's first season as a coach or his
I
second?
think this is his second year.
Okay, so maybe there's still a little like
Was it his
growing
first?
pains with that. But yeah, Chargers sometimes I don't have the most confidence in them, which again is crazy because of Justin Herbert. But I fully believe in Lad McConkey, and I think he's very good.
I agree, and um, there's there are some guys here like Quentin Johnson who we've been waiting on for a couple years now to see if he's actually going to be anything. Trey Harris
Hmm.
is a rookie, but they're not. It's not really that much competition. So I think
Yeah.
he'll be fine. I'm happy with him.
And I think he's gonna eventually fully replace Keenan Allen whenever Keenan is done. And
Yeah.
shout out to Keenan Allen for his crazy, was it 2023 season?
Yeah.
And 2024 season. It was sad for me. I used to so he used to be on my team, so it was
Mm-hmm.
sad for me to get rid of him, but I think it was time. Although he did like solid this year. But yeah, I'm fully bought into Lad McConkey now.
Yeah, I think that's a good basket to have your eggs in. I like McConaughey a lot. All right, the next two, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed. Um, I I don't know. Jordan Addison has to stay out of legal trouble for one. It
Mhm.
seems like
For number
every
one.
year it's like, oh, he's gonna
Something.
he's gonna be in prison for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah,
got to stay off the field. He's got to get his act together. And then on the field,
yeah.
I watched a lot of Vikings games just because Lions and Vikings are in the same um, division and everything.
Hmm.
He usually has like a decent game against Lions, but what wide receiver doesn't? But it's just like I feel like he should be better. I don't know. I'm still waiting on it for him. I think there's a good player in there. He scored a lot of touchdowns in his career, but
Hmm.
I'm you want more from him. I don't as a Lions fan, but as a football fan, you want to see more from him because he has talent.
Yeah,
And that's why I have him. I almost had him in starter. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it because I just don't. He's a flex. I think he's a fine flex. Um, but I just don't know. I don't know if he can. I don't know. Waiting on the breakout is what I'll say for him.
yeah. And you mentioned it, but his off the field issues are issues. And then on the field, I think he has a lot of competition, obviously,
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. So that takes, I feel like, a lot of, looks away from him. I think he's good. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's the issue right
So
there. Another issue, I should say.
yeah, yeah. So because I think he was doing pretty good with Sam Darnold. Like he had a pretty solid
Yeah, he
season.
was he was, he
It
was
was it was
solid.
up and down, but
Hmm.
so yeah. So that's another one where I think like quarterback combined with having really good wide receiver competition, it's kind of tough. I was super high on him at the beginning, and now I'm a little concerned just because of like the external factors. But yeah.
All right, and then Jaden Reed. I'll let you take
Oh,
take your
Jaden
take the lead on
Reed.
Jaden Reed.
Listen, I'm a like Jaden Reed fan. I don't know what happened to the Packers offense this year. Like, I don't know what's going on with Jordan Love. Um, I was in on Jaden Reed last year. I don't have much to say other than that. I don't know what's going on with the Packers, quite honestly.
Well, as you know, I'm a certified Packers hater. Can't say a good thing about a Packer. The only thing is he went to Michigan State, which I'm a
There
Michigan
you
State
go.
fan. So it's like I like him as a person, but he's a Packer, so I can't root for him as a
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
However, I think he isn't good enough to be like wide receiver one. He's never going to be
Hmm.
I don't know, like a Tyreek Hill or someone like that. He's not obviously not as fast. He's not as good a route runner as Amon-Ra St. Brown, kind of similar position, like slot guys. He's never going to be that guy, but he's. I really think he could thrive in an offense that doesn't have a wider like a alpha because he's probably the best of these guys, but he's not gonna
Sure.
get the best corner. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, they're gonna probably if Watson is healthy, they're gonna go to Watson because you don't usually put your best corner on a slot unless that guy your best corner is a slot corner, which does happen sometimes. But I
Hmm.
don't know.
Hmm.
I he obviously was injured this year.
Hmm.
I think he could be I think he could easily be a starter, wide receiver two, wide receiver three, easy. I think right now he's a flex as long as he's healthy.
Yeah.
But he's never going to be like that wide receiver one, top 12 guy. But I do think he is a solid option.
Yeah.
You're just
I
missing this at least one of these two here. Missing
yeah.
one more starter at receiver, but that could be made up for by this group here. We'll talk about that
Oh, for
later.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you as far as like the wide receiver competition on the Packers. I think Dubes or Dobbs, Romeo,
Mm-hmm.
he's good, but they're not I don't know if they're like fully using him to his potential. I feel like
Sound just
Matthew
like Tim.
Golden
I think Tim said the exact same
I
thing.
know. I know. And I think Matthew Golden is kind of been playing below expectations.
Absolutely.
Watson is still fairly young
He's just always
and
hurt.
he's
That's his problem.
solid. Yeah. So I think that's what, as long as Jaden can stay and get healthy, I think he's a solid like option for the Packers to throw to compared to the others.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you there. I think he's a good player to have. It hurts. It pains me to say because he's a Packer, but he's a Spartan, so I'll give him that.
yeah. There you go.
All right, a few more here. Tez Walker. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm reluctant to even have him in development because he's kind of getting older, and I just don't. I just don't love. Where is he? I just don't love Baltimore receivers, and he'll
Mhm.
be a year three. He's going to have to come off the taxi squad for you. I don't think you
Mhm.
drop him just because he's just a little better than the other guys that are down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know that I see it for him. I don't know that
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on the Tez Walker train.
Yeah. And I don't know if I am either. So like he hasn't played a lot, to be honest. Like this year he's played in 2025 maybe like half the season, 2024 he played maybe half the season. So
Hmm.
it's I honestly don't know how to evaluate him at all just because I feel like he hasn't played a lot and I don't know if it's injury or just I think 2024 was his rookie season and just trying to develop. But yeah, I have no clue. what to expect from him, to be honest.
Yeah, he's one that I think you sit on, but I wouldn't have my hopes that he's going to be a starter or anything. And then
Yeah.
lastly,
Yeah.
we have Slayton and Kirk, who aren't well. They're both in who knows. Kirk because
Yeah.
he's going to be a free agent and he could easily end up on a team, kind of like, almost like the Titans, where
Oh.
they need another piece, and
Mhm.
he's a bridge player at this point. He's not gonna be the guy that wins you a Super Bowl, but he could get you an extra win if you're a Titan if he's on the Titans. So something like that. If he goes there, then I think easily he gets moved up into the backup range,
Mhm.
flex spot. But that's if he goes to a place like that. If he goes somewhere like if he stays in Houston, I don't know if I would want him to be a flex player for me. Just
Yeah.
because I know he had injuries, but that's already kind of getting to be a crowded receiver room, especially when they drafted Higgins and Noel. So I don't know. I think he's as good as gone, but who
Yeah.
knows? If he stays, then we'll see. But it's not a great year for him this year. And then Slayton, we have he's just too good. Like to cut. I mean, he at least has been very consistently mid. But
Mhm.
he's you can put him in the flex. Like this year, only 500 yards, but that's better than someone down here. So I don't
Up
want
down. Yeah.
I wouldn't cut him if I had him. He's not getting cut for me, but he's not someone I want to be starting consistently, which sure I'm sure you agree with.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so ideally, if in a perfect world, these two both can move up, I think, and then I think you
Yeah.
maybe Kirk can be a backup, and then maybe you have Slayton, but I'd count on Kirk more than Slayton. But if in a perfect world you'd have these three together as your starting three, I think that's pretty good. But you
Yeah.
also have the additions here that you could either trade those picks
Move those
or use
down a
them
bit.
or whatever. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now on to the good stuff. We'll get Cole Kmet out of the way,
Mhm.
who I don't even think is bad. I just think he is in a bad situation at this point.
Yeah.
They just took Loveland at what was it 10 last year, and he was very good. And he's on a kind of a big contract. They gave him a lot of money. I don't remember what it was. Um, they gave him 4 years, $50 million. Was that
Oh.
last year? Which is like now 2 years ago. So um, Uh, yeah, so he is under contract until 2027. So I guess it was yeah. So he's just there as a backup tight end,
Mhm.
but he's good enough to be a starter in my opinion. So
Yeah.
if they can trade him, that'd be amazing for you because he would
Yeah.
probably go be a one somewhere else, and he's automatically up here.
Yeah.
So Komet, he's he's good, but he's just in a bad situation.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I kind of found myself this year, um, like having a lot at tight end. So the
Yeah.
only reason I say that is because I think I do have a possibility of trading him because I have a lot of other pieces
Mm-hmm.
to fill for tight end. So I do like him, and I think he's a very solid player. So if he's good, it gets traded or something next year, then I could keep him. But again, I don't feel like I need to, considering what I have. So
Yeah, and if you were to trade one of these five tight ends, that you'd probably get more value for one of these three. Obviously,
hmm
you don't trade Bowers. Yeah,
I'm never trading Bowers
unless it's to
for the
me.
record.
Unless it's to me.
Oh, okay.
Bowers is obviously the best tight end of the game. No notes
Yeah.
there. He's always locked in starter. And then I honestly I was I the rest of the team I kind of had thoughts on already, and then I at one point had all four of these guys as starter,
Honestly,
and then moved
yeah.
them all down just because there's I don't know, they're all easy flex starts for me aside from maybe
Yeah.
Mason Taylor so far.
Yeah.
But he could be he easily all four of those guys could definitely be tight end one like esque next year. I don't think they all will be. I think that will be I don't know, maybe, but I think your best bet is Ferguson having another bounce back. He relied heavily on touchdowns this year, uh, I think he had eight touchdowns, but he just had a ton of targets. And I think he can replicate that amount of targets. He already has. He's already had 100 targets twice in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one I had here for the longest time. And honestly, now I'm looking at it again, I probably should have left him as a starter, and I'm going to leave him up there now because I do like Jake Ferguson a lot. I think he's going to be good, even with the, Lamb and Pickens. I think he's still going to be able to get his targets for sure.
Oh yeah, and Cowboys, I mean, they love their tight ends.
Hmm.
Like he's always going to get targets. The only thing that gets me a little uncomfortable is starting like three tight ends. Like I don't
Yeah,
know if that's a good sign. Like to have two tight ends in both of your flex spots. Um, I think like they are more reliable than some of the wide receivers and running backs that I have. So like
absolutely.
I do start them.
Yeah,
But I do get concerned about that. Like oh, that's probably not the best sign to be starting three tight ends every game. But I mean they produce and they're really
exactly.
good.
Yeah,
So.
and
All right, on that train.
and Bowers is basically like a wide receiver one with the way with the numbers he puts up. I know
Oh yeah.
he had the injuries this year, but I'm not worried about him in the slightest. He's going to be just fine.
No.
Even with Mendoza throwing to him, he puts numbers up like crazy. So I wouldn't like he's basically not even a tight end. And then
Yeah.
like you said, I'd rather have Jake Ferguson than literally any of these guys starting for me. So which might
Yeah.
not seem right, but he's the tight end, so he gets 1.5 points per reception.
Mhm.
That's huge in our league, so that adds value to him for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, Juwan Johnson, I, I think I think he can replicate this. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
he's been okay throughout. Obviously, a breakout here, but it's not a breakout that's like unsustainable. I don't think. I know 77 catches is a ton for a tight end, but he was getting most of those looks, most of those targets and catches were with the Tyler Shuck, the quarterback, the rookie quarterback that they're probably going to play
Mhm.
next year.
Mhm.
He already has that chemistry with him. I don't see why he can't replicate that or come close to replicating that. So he's another
Yeah.
one that I was like, he should be here. The only reason I don't have him up there is because we don't really know what the Saints are going to do. They could take another quarterback. I don't think they are, but
Yeah.
Shuck wasn't like light the world on fire good last year. So maybe they move on. I don't think they do, but we'll see with him. It was a great
Yeah.
year. I was not expecting that. I think I traded him
Yes, you
a
did.
while
No,
ago.
I like Joanne a lot. Um I just feel like he's very reliable and that's something that is helpful for younger quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And also I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, maybe easier, more reliable to be throwing to tight end. What is their wide receivers? I
Uh,
mean,
Olave
it
and then a
doesn't
whole
look.
bunch of nothing.
Yeah, so yeah, I believe in Jawan a lot.
And I think they do address quarterback, or sorry, receiver in the draft. I think they'll take a receiver,
Hmm.
um, but I don't think that's going to take away. It might take away 15 targets, but then still he's gonna theoretically will have 70, 65, 70 catches, 800 yards. It's still a very solid season for a tight end. So
Yeah.
I don't think even if they do address, unless they don't draft two wide receivers and a tight end and trade for, which they're not going to do. Um,
Hmm.
I'm, I like Johnson. I like him going forward.
Yeah.
And then we've already talked about Mason Taylor. So
Hmm.
that's it. I think this is the best tight end group in the league. I think it's tough to find a team with better tight ends.
Yeah.
It's very solid. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of who might have a better one.
Yeah. I may
Um,
have like four of the top 10 tight ends, which again, like, is that good for the long run? I don't know. Like, I'd probably rather have the four top running backs.
yeah,
Like, but whatever. I still think, I mean, they've been the core of my team and they're reliable and relatively young compared to the rest of my team.
right.
So, yeah, no, I'll start them all day.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe you try to trade one of them for a running back or a receiver,
Hmm.
but that's that's not. I don't think that's a right now conversation. I think that's after the draft, after the NFL draft. Then we will reassess all of this stuff, and then everything
Yeah.
changes because the the Jets might take another tight end, which they're not going to do. But
Yeah.
then it's a whole other conversation with Taylor. So as of right now, this is a very very solid group. That, like you said, you might look to diversify, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows with that? I did forget to mention. Uh, your team finished 7-7. This I was supposed to do this way before. 7-7. You finished seventh in points for and third in points against last year, which is very unlucky for you. That's no
Mhm.
fun. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that you had so many points against, but unfortunately you did. You were up there. I think that's
Yeah.
part of being in the division with the heavy hitters up here. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a down year for me. So my first year I think was a very mid year. But it was just like, kind of trying to set it up.
mhm.
Um I think I honestly I may have ended like right in the middle of the pack or slightly lower than the pack
Yeah,
in the middle of the
five
pack.
and nine. You were fourth, fourth worst. So yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah, mid-ish.
you had a lot. You had a lot to do. I don't remember all the trades you made, but
Yeah.
you made a lot of trades.
Oh my
So
God. No, going into my second year, that's when I got Saquon. That's I think that I guess that's when I drafted Brock, right? So
let's see,
going
so
into my
10.4.
second
Yeah.
year, I not to toot my own horn or anything, but I had the best yeah, that's when I really
Hmm.
popped off. I had the best regular season record and then I got second place.
Yep.
So I killed it my second year, and then now this past year, my third year, I think I'm not well, I am a biased Cowboys fan, but I'm blaming it all on the Eagles to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then I think my wide receivers got really hurt, and they were not very well, except for Lad. He's an angel. Um, but yeah, so kind of a mid-year this past year. But I'm just used to, I guess, having the best record in the league,
Yeah.
so I have high expectations.
Yeah. And yeah, I think there's definitely bounce back, especially because you have six picks, which you have the
Mhm.
106, the 110, 206, 210, 306, 310. I think these are all
Mhm.
Archie's picks. I don't remember.
Mhm.
It was some crazy trade that you guys did. I think you get. Who'd you get? Is that the James Cook trade? Maybe.
Oh my
Is
God.
that
I don't.
trade?
I I miss James Cook
That was the
so
James
much.
Cook trade. Yeah, you gave up James
Yeah.
Cook and Tyler Lockett for two firsts, 2 seconds, 2/3, and McKinnon, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Cook is good, but I think that's still a great trade, still a good value.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think that's tough to pass up on. So
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of picks. I'm kind of like, I think the two first round picks are awesome. And oh, I guess, do I also get because I won the bads, right? So I get that extra pick?
did you win the consolation bracket?
I think so.
Can't remember who did. Let's see. It was last year. So yeah, you did. So you get the two. That's right. Um, the 213 as well. So you have an extra pick here.
Yeah. I
That's good to
don't
remember. So I
know.
totally forgot about that.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of okay to peek behind the curtain a little bit. I like trading for players that I know what they are, and I'm always a little bit like second round, third round picks. I'm not like I don't know if I'm qualified to pick like, oh, this is the diamond in the rough, the needle in the haystack. So like I would like to trade some of those picks for players that I actually know or like what to expect from them.
That's fair.
That's kind of like how I roll with the draft picks. I think the first round picks definitely mean a lot to me.
Hmm.
But yeah, the second round, third round picks, it seems like, really hard to
Yeah.
find the one that is like going to be the breakout player there. So,
Well, they're dart
um,
throws. It's just random,
yeah,
and everybody, like we all think that we're the one that can pick the, oh, this guy's
yeah,
gonna be him. So don't feel bad
yeah.
if you think that, because everyone who picks all these picks, everyone's like, oh, Rahul.
This is him.
I was so high on Xavier Leggett too. I was like, oh shit, Rahul picked Leggett. I'm pissed because I was gonna take him here. He's been
Yeah,
terrible, and so is Roman
yeah,
Wilson. So like all these, so don't feel bad about like thinking you have the guy and then you don't. But I totally get it.
yeah.
Trading for production. That's probably why you were, so good that second your second year in the league, because you
Hmm.
traded for proven players and it worked. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely something to think about going into the draft is maybe moving on from some of those
Yeah.
picks, but who knows?
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of them. So,
Yeah. All right, and the last thing we do, I think I forgot to mention this, is we have a little tier list going. So I let you
hmm
put yourself in the tier. So everyone that you see except for Taylor, because he didn't come on the show,
hmm
chose this spot for them. So it's either championship contender, you think you're definitely gonna make the playoffs, and you have a good chance you're gonna win the championship. Playoff teams is you're probably in the playoffs. Would be shocked if you missed out. Piece or two away from contending. Tweenersville is pretty much that. It's in between a playoff, but you're not rebuilding, and then rebuilders are like you need to get rid of everything. So if you had to
hmm
put yourself in one of these tiers, where would you land?
Well, I hope I don't regret saying this, and I'll knock on wood, but I think I'm mid to low tier two. I
Good with that?
don't think, yeah, like I would put one low. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I don't think I'm a rebuilder. Like I
No.
feel like I have a lot of good, um, solid pieces, and then also like solid, like entire rooms. I think there's probably some pieces and players that I need to like improve on, but I don't think it's a lot. And I'm hoping like that, some of my players perform better than they did last year. Their
Hmm.
teams perform better. They stay healthier. Um, so yeah, I don't know if that's overestimating, but I feel like I'm a tier two.
I agree.
I I was cut off. I think I was like 7-7
Hmm.
or something, and could just miss like the good playoffs.
Yep.
Um, so I'm hoping like a couple moves, couple drops, maybe a good draft pick here or there. I can be a solid playoff team.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there because, I mean, I forgot to mention this too. Is just look at potential starting line, like what you could be looking at going into next year. You've
Hmm.
got five locked in starters that are going to be very good,
Yeah.
good to very good. Bauer's gonna be very good. I think Barkley and Walker are gonna be good next year. Hertz is gonna get his, especially with the tush push. McConkey, I think,
Hmm.
is gonna have a bounce back. And then you have these guys that any of these guys can start, can plug
Hmm.
and play. You could even put Rito here, start Harvey or something like that. If that's your starting lineup, I think that's good enough for the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're just lacking maybe another all-star wide receiver and just some depth here or there. But I think you're the first solid playoff team we have, especially with those draft picks. So
Nice. Yeah, and I think too, so I totally agree, a couple of picks, wide receiver picks. And I think too, I may consider looking at and cleaning up maybe some of my backup quarterbacks just to
yeah,
have that be a little bit more solid for, Jalen's bye week and heaven
yeah.
forbid, knock on wood, if he gets hurt or something. Yeah, please, Lord.
That
So
then you might be looking
then I may
to
be a lower
trade some
tier.
players.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think I feel good about the upcoming season, and hopefully the draft treats me well. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, very nice. Well, that's all I have. Congratulations, you're the first tier two team we've got.
Woohoo!
Hmm.
Nice.
All right, well, that's it. Thank you all for listening. Keirsey, thanks for coming on. I'll see you
Yeah,
in like a month and a
yeah,
half.
sounds good.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Alrighty.
All right, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. All right. right. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Nate coming up next. Don't know if he's going to be on the pod. We'll see.